Aloha, it's Kim Jolene with Finding Your Fiji, and I'm here doing your Feng Shui Friday tip for today. So we're continuing on the series related to Feng Shui cure items or Feng Shui adjustment items. And we have covered, previously I covered bells and also crystals. So I'll place links below to those particular videos in case you missed those ones. But today we're going to talk about something that you may not hear too much about in Feng Shui, and this is flutes. So flutes are really useful in a number of different ways in Feng Shui. Flutes essentially can lift the energy in a space. They can be hung by themselves or in pairs. So they can be hung horizontally, like this way, or they can be hung at an angle. There's lots of different uses for them. And if you're hanging a flute at an angle, you always want the mouthpiece down. Unless the flute is made of bamboo, then you're going to hang the thicker, the older growth part at the bottom and the thinner area at the top, sort of that new growth or thinner area at the top. So what do we use flutes for? Really pretty interesting. So we can use flutes, when we have a back door in wealth. That is one area that we can hang flutes. If you have beams overhead, that can sometimes be a very cutting energy depending on where the beams are located, if they're located over a bed or over somewhere that you sit. So flutes can be used to remedy that scenario. You can use them for protection. So if you've had your home that's been broken into or something like that, you can use the flutes for protection in that way. We often use flutes in blessing ceremonies, or I even think there's, I'm thinking of a particular wealth adjustment that we use flutes for, right? Blessing ceremonies, and that is something that's, again, it's sort of that protection energy with the flute, right? And the sound also, I feel like, has clearing properties too, right? So even if you're not actually blowing the flute, the energy of the device itself has that energy of noise, of, kind of blowing the horn type of thing. If you have back problems, there's also specific ways that you can use flutes to help remedy the back issues or back problems that you have, right? So there's lots of different interesting ways that we can use flutes. I don't happen to have a flute here to show you, but of course, good old Google, you can Google Feng Shui flutes, or even just, yeah, probably you'd want to put the Feng Shui ahead of it, Feng Shui flutes, and get a little bit more information about the types of flutes that might be available for purchase. But again, I always recommend that you consult with a Feng Shui practitioner before you place any adjustment, because your home may have a different circumstances, and sometimes, just placing something doesn't do the trick, and sometimes can actually be a impediment to what you're trying to accomplish. So I really do recommend that you consult with a Feng Shui practitioner, someone that has been trained and certified, like myself, to assist you with placing any of these adjustment items in your home. Okay, so that is my quick Feng Shui Friday tip for today. Next week, we are going to be looking at the energy of mirrors. And I'll be sharing with you some of the uses of mirrors and some of the energy that we have as it relates to mirrors.